Well, the internet is now as much a part of our children's lives these days as riding a bike and going to school. It opens up a whole new world for them, which is great, but that's also the problem. Parents have to somehow protect their kids from adult content on the internet, as well as stopping them from innocently revealing personal information to strangers. Marguerite Rossi has been looking at the simple things parents can do.
Computers and children just go hand in hand these days, and as most parents know, their kids are more savvy about how to use them and the internet than they are.
Your kids are well ahead of you.
They're around it all the time. We just don't have enough to do with it anymore.
The problem is parents have to try and play the role of protector and watchdog in a world where they're often one step behind their kids. Mum Nadine thought keeping an eye on son Reese's search history would be a good way of monitoring his internet usage.
I will come in and check on what he's looking at. I will go through the history and see if there's anything in there that he shouldn't be looking at as well.
Reese is only 11 years old and Nadine is in for a shock. He's already worked out how to delete his internet history off the computer. How did you learn this?
I was just checking out the top and it just popped up.
Naomi Jarvis has been there and done that. Her daughter Bronwyn is in grade 12, her son 21. So the internet grew along with her family.
Well, we tried to let them know that this was new to us. We were learning as much as they were, and we needed to know what was happening on the internet and what they were working on.
Her tip for success for parents: keep the lines of communication open with your kids. Daughter Bronwyn agrees.
Try and talk to them about it and tell them like what's right, what it's there for, what it's not there for.
The Jarvises invested in software which logs what their kids have been doing on the computer.
But we've never really needed that because we've always been honest and they know what we're on the computer for, and it was bought for our schoolwork mainly.
It's really handy because you can go in when they're at school or when they're at work and just check on it.
Yen Lee is an IT expert with ConsortiumWeb. He says there are 3 levels of supervision parents should use to protect their kids while on the net. The first is by installing blocking software.
Blocking consists of either you get a whitelist or a blacklist. A whitelist says that, okay, I want my kids to be able to access Google, so google.com, hotmail.com, myspace.com. And nothing else will be available to them. Or you have a blacklist. A blacklist consists of a list of websites that cannot be accessed.
The next is by using screening software.
There's inbound screening where you can say, all right, I don't want certain words to appear in content that appears on the pages that are displayed on this computer. There's also outbound screening, so you can say personal information such as Reese, that must never be transmitted.
And finally, monitoring with logging software and physically watching what your kids are doing on the computer.
If you make it aware to your kids that you know what they're doing, they're less likely to get a bit too curious.
A simple step is to have the computer in an open area of the house.
It makes sense, everyone can see it.
And you don't have to invest hundreds in software. The government provides free software on its netalert.gov.au website.
So it's available to families in Australia to download for free, and they give you a selection of 4 or 5 software packages that you can download.
Of course, while the kids might be one up on mum and dad in the technology stakes, parents still have one weapon at their disposal: the power to remove computer privileges. What do you think would happen if your mum found out that you were looking at things you shouldn't be looking at?
Well, there goes my internet days.
I reckon that one could be trouble. Marguerite Rossi reporting.